Hello, successful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First, I want to say thank you to 1,000 plus of you guys. I mean, it's a long journey, but we are finally here. We are 1,000 plus. We're not just 1,000, 1,000 plus. I want to say big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. You amounted to the 1,000 plus people, and thank you for following us back to back. Thank you so much for commenting, for liking, for sharing this video with your friends, sharing this channel with your friends. Thank you so much. Even as the ads continue to be like 2,000, 3,000, 100,000 and much more, I'm so glad that you are like the first 1,000 people who are here. God bless you. Okay, so to now, I just always want us to go straight into the point so that you tend to get the juice of everything. So today, what we are going to be talking about, so I couldn't really give it a topic, so it was like me trying to answer a question. So I'm just going to make it like, how do I know if I am a beginner, intermediate, or advanced in fashion? That's what I'm going to title this video, but that I'm going to be answering that question in this video, so stay all right with me. So in this video, I said I'm going to be talking about how do I know if I am a beginner, intermediate, or advanced in fashion. Now, this question came because I realized that a lot of people, when they are going to a fashion school, most of the time fashion schools would always have different levels, which are majorly beginners. Some of them either beginners or foundation, that's how some of them put it, intermediate or advanced, and quite a number of people don't know where they fall, most especially those people who already know how to sew, and then they just feel like they want to do an upgrade, so they don't know whether they should go to intermediate class or advanced class, or even to start from the beginning, and so most of the time I feel like quite a number of such people end up making a mistake. A lot of them go to advanced class. Yes, let's just put that, because if you I'm already sewing, I have customers, I'm just going for an upgrade. So a lot of them end up going to advanced class, and by the time they get to the advanced class, they realize that they cannot cope, and then it's too late to change, because of course, before you know you can't cope, it's going to be like first few maybe 2 or 3 weeks. By then the class you would want to go back to would have also gone far, and they won't be able to go back. So I am making this video to help you, and also to help even fashion designers, fashion school owners, to know how to categorize these people, how you can also help them, and then how to structure the different things you would teach in each level. Okay, so firstly, I would like to say something before I say the difference between the three. What I would like to say is that I made a post recently on my Facebook page. No, I think it's on my personal Facebook, and I posted on my WhatsApp status, and I said that being an advanced freehand fashion designer doesn't make you an advanced pattern maker. And then I want to just elaborate that here to say that, first of all, I am not here to say, oh, freehand, if you are doing freehand, dump all of that and start doing pattern. Pattern is the right thing. No, freehand has its own way. It's just like different methods. It's just like me saying, dump pattern making and start doing draping. They are just different methods. They complement each other. Okay, so you're going to notice a change in space and light. That's because this is Nigeria and NEPA just showed me pepper. But I really need to shoot this video, and I started already, so I'm going to complete it. So I was saying that freehand and pattern are not rivals. Let me just put it that way. They are not rivals. They complement each other. However, because you are very vast and good in freehand doesn't mean that you are you'll be very, very good in pattern. Or I mean, let me rephrase that. Doesn't mean that you are meant to start as an advanced pattern maker. So if you do freehand very well, I mean, you have customers, you are very good. When you say you want to start learning how to make pattern and you choose to go to a fashion school, the best place to start is on the beginner's level. Yes, I didn't make a mistake, and I don't need to rephrase that. The best place to start, if you are let me say it again, maybe you can just cut this video, this part of the video, I'm gonna post it on your WhatsApp status, let people know. If you are very good in freehand, you are a master in freehand of fashion designing, you have customers, you are big, and you choose to start learning pattern making, the best place to start is in beginners level of pattern making, not advanced class, not even intermediate class. the best place to start is beginners. Here's the thing. So let me ask you, let's assume you are a pattern maker now, and you want to, and you say, oh, there's a school that all they teach is draping, but you're very good in pattern making. And then they ask you, oh, now we have different levels for draping, beginners. Draping is also another method of constructing designs. So let's say beginners, intermediate, and advanced for draping, and they ask you which level would you start from. As a pattern maker, you're good in pattern making. I can bet that the first place you want to go is the beginners, because draping is different from pattern making. You are doing that on a 3D level. Pattern making is 2D. Draping is 3D. You want to know everything, including the foundation of that particular method, not going all the way. Okay, not going all the way. So this is very important. I had to put this even before I say the other thing I want to say. This is also mean. I've seen a lot of people make that mistake and you start struggling. Even they would the fashion school might even advise you that please don't do advanced, go and do intermediate or beginners. You say no, what did they take me for, and then you start, of course you end up graduating as an advanced designer, but you struggled and your foundation is not strong because you've missed some certain things that you need to know about that method. What they do in freehand is different. Of course, you would still sew a cloth and it will still look nice, fine. But now you are trying to go into pattern making. You need to start from beginners class, regardless of whether you be making ashwabi. You could even have been making wedding gowns with with freehand. That doesn't make you an advanced pattern maker. That doesn't mean that when you now say you want to go to the fashion school, where you're supposed to start from is advanced because you've been sewing. No, okay, so please, very important, if you know a friend who wants to go to a fashion school and they've been sewing before, we have that issue most times with people who have been sewing before and are very good, so they think the place they need to go to is just advanced. Best bet, if you don't want to do beginners, do intermediate first before you go to advanced. But best advice is do beginners first. That's the best advice. So even if you know some things that they are teaching you, it still helps because they will show you different methods of doing it, but it will still help you and it's not a waste of money. Okay, so now for you to know if you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So most times you also ask this question, of course, when you are going to a fashion school, maybe when you're registering there and they're asking you what level do you want to pick and you're confused. This video is for you. Okay, another thing is if you are trying to structure your fashion school and know who are the people you should put in beginners, advanced, intermediate, this video is for you. And then personally, if you're an online content creator who make fashion design videos to teach and you want to know the people you can say, oh, that if you're registering for my course you have to be on this level, this video is also for you. So what I'm going to say is really not a standard. Okay, different people have their different standard. We have a group called the fashion instructors community where someone asked this particular question, and then truth is this question, actually that question was what prompted me to make this video. I answered with a voice note there, but I thought to do a full video which of course would be more detailed, and all the things I've said before I didn't say it in the voice note. So if you also want to join the group, you can just send a message, drop a comment that you would like to join the fashion instructors community. Then, of course, I'll send you a link for you to join. Okay, so when you ask whether you are a beginner, how do I know if I'm a beginner, intermediate, or advanced? Most times, beginners don't have the issue because they just know they are beginners. But the issue comes from intermediate or advanced. So sometimes you feel like, oh, I can do this, I can do this. I'm an advanced designer. And then, of course, there are levels to this thing. And then you might really not want to judge yourself based on fashion school curriculums, because different fashion schools have different curriculum for different levels. You can see fashion school A, their curriculum for beginners class is what fashion school B is using for their intermediate class. And then fashion school C is using the curriculum of fashion school B's, fashion school A's intermediate class for their advanced class. So then it brings you that confusion because you will no longer know, am I really an intermediate or an advanced or a beginner? Some fashion schools, their beginners course outline is even the advanced for another school. And the truth is that doesn't mean that, oh, that means I'm better off than this fashion school or not. No, it's not. But it's just, in fact, if you go abroad, trust me, what you people are using in Nigeria as advanced course outline is like professor level. Some of them, even their beginners class could just be learning how to sew bags, how to sew cushions, pillowcase, all those things, just because they really want their foundations to be strong in terms of sewing straight lines, sewing curved edges, aligning fabrics together, and that is it. But I also see some fashion schools in Nigeria where their beginners class is sewing corsets, their beginners class is sewing man-made skirts, all of those things. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, this is right or this is wrong, because this is what the fashion school has chosen to do, and it's fine. However, there are some certain things you should know. Some advanced designers are beginners. That's the truth. Because if your lines are not straight, so these are some of the things. If you're sewing and your lines are not straight, you can't match seams together. So matching seams together is like, maybe when you're sewing trouser, the end part of the trouser, you should be able to match the seams neatly. You should be able to match size of gown with waist joining neatly. And these works are beginners work. You should be able to do that. If you cannot do that and you can still sew corsets, you are a beginner. I am sorry. But you are a beginner, so you might need to revisit that. That's why I say go back to beginners class. Or if you think that's the only issue you have and it's not enough for you to go back to a beginners class, then take some courses on YouTube, how to sew straight. I have a video on this page on a tool you can use that can help you now to sew straight. You can check down. However, it's something that you can take on for yourself. Just try to match up and see how you can sew straight. So for beginners, I would say that if you can sew straight, you can match up seam lines, you can make a basic gown. Basic means basic. No fancy necklines, no fancy sleeves. You can just make a simple basic gown neatly. Neatly, you can fix a zipper. I see some advanced designers who cannot fix a zipper neatly. There's a difference between you knowing how to fix a zipper and you knowing how to fix a zipper neatly. Okay, you're not meant to fix a zipper and then there's more space on this side than this side. Okay, so catch your sub if you're catching it like that. But really, these are some things that happen to advanced designers because you have not touched on your foundation very well. So all of those things you should check it out. If you're asking yourself, am I a beginner? So if you can sew zippers well, check. We are moving into the next level. If you can sew well, you can thread the machine, you can sew on a machine, you can thread the machine, you can pedal a machine. I mean, you can so of course I said all of these things I'm saying, they are not standard. So I am saying them from my own point of view. Not like, oh, it's general for everybody, but I'm saying it from my own point of view. So when you can do all of those things, you can know basic terms, fashion terms. As a beginner, you should know fashion terms, something like back stitch, running stitch, top stitching, under stitching, different types of buttons, shank buttons, different names of buttons, net patterns. So I'm talking about if you're learning pattern making, net patterns, gross. If by now you're asking me what net pattern is, NETT. Well, okay, let me not say advanced. Let me not say beginners should know, but if you're between beginners, in fact, these are some things that should be tackled in your beginners class. Beginners, intermediates, yes, you should know. As if you're an advanced designer and you don't know what a net pattern is, don't know what a gross pattern is, it's time for you to go back to your foundation or start reading textbooks. Really, start reading them, because of course I'm not going to say, oh, if you don't know these things, you are wrong, you're not supposed to be an advanced. No, it simply just means that there are some things you need to improve on, like you reading more. Of course, fashion school will not teach you all, but then you need to read more to be able to prove that you are indeed an advanced designer. Okay, so if you know all of these terms, basic terms like the labelings on a pattern, you must be able to interpret them. As a beginner in pattern making, you should be able to interpret them. For example, like CB, you should know that is center back. CF, you should know that center front. Grain lines, you should know what a grain line means, the symbol for grain line, what it stands for. All these basic things, you should know how to read your tape. And I don't mean reading like 1 inch, 2 inch. You should know how to read in between the lines. Your quarter, your 1/8, third, 3/8, and know them in their decimals. You should know this as a beginner. Tape should not be your problem. Reading tapes, taking measurements, accurate measurements shouldn't be your problem as a beginner. Now let me move to so if you know that you all the things I said, you check, you can do all of that, then I think that you're an intermediate designer. And then as an intermediate designer, there are some certain things you should be able to do. You should not have problems sewing. You should be able to manipulate your patterns from basic to something extraordinary. You should be able to make secondary patterns like kimono, raglan sleeves. You should be able to do slash and spread on your patterns, make a mermaid skirt, do some basic dart manipulations, be able to do something really nice, be able to think out of the box, be able to do different sleeve variations, different necklines, how to battle with gaping necklines. You should know answers to when you have issues with gaping necklines. You should know what to do. Okay, you should know what to do as an intermediate designer. You should even be able to make a basic trouser. A basic trouser, yes, you should be able to make that. You should be able to fix your zip well, and then you should even be able to fix zip not only on one point. It's not only the center back you can fix your zipper. You should be able to fix it in different places. Okay, and then as so there is also more to this, but of course, this is a video. I can't do so much so that the video will not be too long. As an advanced designer, this is a part where I think that now for me, what other people think as advanced is what I choose to fix in intermediate. As an advanced designer, I expect you to know how to drape. I expect you to know how to design garments. So more like it's just like you are working with a skeleton garments, which is more like a foundation of a garment. So your foundation can actually be a bustier, it could be a corset, it could be anything. And then you are able to design on it. You are able to probably drape, do some designs, do some fabric manipulation. That's like changing the fabric from its original structure into something else. You should be able to know how to work with your interfacing to add structures, the kind of structures you want and you need on a garment, and different textures. You should be able to understand the different fabrics, what results they give you. You should be able to understand the names of some fabrics, the behavior of those fabrics. You should be able to know how to work with boning structures, so more like doing corsets, structuring your designs, embellishing your designs in the right way. You should be able to know how to style your garments. So I'm not even talking about the whole styling of the body. I mean the garment itself. So where to fix this, you should be able to know how to insert things. You should not have issues with tool nets, inserting tool nets and all of that. You should be able to come up with your own designs. Advanced designer, you should be able to at least sketch. You should be able to at least sketch. So sketch doesn't mean it's when I say sketch, I don't mean that professional drawing. You should be able to at least sketch out a design, create a design for yourself, not something that you copied. Of course, you can check pictures to get inspirations from them, but you should be able to come up with your own designs and be able to bring them to life. Okay, if you call yourself a fashion designer in Nigeria, so I'm putting that clause in Nigeria, then you should be able to bring them to life. In abroad, you can have people just come out. In abroad, most of the advanced designers just sketch out designs, come up with designs. That's their major work. They really don't have to bother about how to sew it or what to do. They can give it to tailors to sew, but of course they will come back to check, put this in place. So you as an advanced designer should be able to spot when something is wrong and the solution to it. So you as an advanced designer, you are now like a doctor who someone can come to you and say, I'm having a headache, I'm also having stomach pain, but I don't know what's wrong with me. And then you can say, okay, let me see, let me open your eyes, open your tongue, let me see. And then you just look at it, that every normal human being will look at and they will not see anything. But then you look at it and then you can predict that this is what I think is wrong with you. So let's use this, and let's see if it works. It's the same thing with a dress. So when they come to you and they say, this dress, I really don't know. The fit is just somehow, and the patterns were right, everything was okay. But the fit, there's something wrong with the fit. And then you can easily say and say, you didn't cut this on the right grain line. You probably cut one pattern on the cross grain and you cut another one on the lengthwise grain. You cut one on the crosswise grain and you cut the other one on the lengthwise grain. So you might have a little bit of the reason why you're having this stretch is because of the cut. So you can know what that crosswise lengthwise means, and then know that even after you see, you were probably not there when they were cutting the garment, but you can know that this garment has this issue because of the way it was cut, because of the pattern placement. You must understand pattern placement. And then the only reason why you make mistakes in pattern placements as an advanced designer is if you forgot, which, because we are human beings, is allowed, but you can't always forget. So if you make mistakes more than twice, three times, it's no longer a mistake. It's just who you are. You probably don't understand the best way to do it. So these are some of the things that you should know as an advanced designer. So if you think, oh, because I'm making corset, even this drape, I can do it. How about pattern placement? How about cutting techniques? How about sewing techniques? How about ironing? So these are some of the things that you should. So most times it is not wrong for you to say, oh, I really don't think I'm an advanced designer. I think I am an intermediate designer. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you open yourself to learn more. I recently just got back from a training, a masterclass training that I went to, and sincerely, of course, I knew, and I was able to understand some of majority of the things that were being taught there. But because of the way the person was teaching, he was teaching because he expected that everybody in that class has to be a master. And then you now see some people looking like they really didn't understand some of the terms he was using. And of course, it was termed a master class. Master is even more like, we know you're advanced designer, but then we think you're also a master. So that's like another level. So that is why if you don't tackle the problem of knowing what level you are now, you might find yourself in those kind of positions where you go for a master class and you don't understand absolutely anything. You don't understand anything from what the person is saying, and it looks like you're at a loss now, because the class was tagged a master class. You were not yet an advance. You now went to go to for master class. So it's very important to tackle. In fact, sometimes most of our problems need to be tackled from the foundation, which is what a lot of people avoid, because they feel, that's a long way down. Why don't I just come down by one step and then so I can easily go back up? No, if you come down by one step and say you want to easily go back up, you would still fall. It's just like a building whose foundation is not strong, and you say, no, let's just put some more blocks. But the blocks you're going to put now is thicker. Your problem is not about the thick block, it's about you going back to the foundation. Okay, so I hope with this viewpoint of mine, anyway, you can guess where you are, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or foundation, or advanced, or even a master. So whichever one you think you are, but whichever level you are, there is always a room for learning more. And sometimes when there's a room for learning more, you might choose to not. The fact that I went to a master class now, of course, I felt, oh, now I'm a master. But then, if I see another training, I'm going to go into that training as a beginner. So what I mean is, I'm going to go with the mindset that, okay, I really don't know anything, so that I will not block myself from some of the things they'll be teaching. Of course, even though you're a master, there are some things that are foundation terms that you might still not know. As a master, you might still not know. So you must have an open mind to be able to learn. If you feel like, oh, I'm too big to go to foundation, which, see, I don't think anybody is too big. If we have people of 40 years, 50 years going back to school to learn. And the truth is, if you keep saying, oh, if I now start from beginning, when will I now finish? If you are 40 years now and you're asking yourself, well, by the time I'm done, I will start from foundation, but it's until after 3 years before I get to advance. The truth is, if you don't do anything now, in the next 3 years, you'll still be 43. If you do foundation now, in the next 3 years, you'll be 43 and you'll be advanced 43. Advanced designer, a 43-year-old advanced designer. But if you don't do anything now, you are going in the next 3 years, you're just going to be 43 years old, or 43 years old advanced, that the foundation is not strong. Okay, so be sincere with yourself, know what level you are, put yourself in that level, and go for the best training that suits you. Okay, go for the best training that suits you. Preferably, I would even say go for fashion schools who their beginner self tackle beginning, the very beginning. Not like you are jumping into maybe your beginner is taking courses, or well, of course they might also have structures in place, because most curriculums or course outline you see, they tend not to put in everything, because of course if they want to put in everything, one old book will not contain. So they just put in like the topics, they won't put in the subtopics or the headings and everything. So, but ask questions before you enroll for any of the levels. If you want to go for beginners, you can ask, please, do you tackle the foundation, domain foundation, though I might have knowledge in freehand, I can sew, but I really want to have the foundation, maybe like the different type of stitches, different type of buttons, different labelings on pattern, all of those things. Ask them questions, they'll be willing to answer you. Okay, don't rush into going to advanced class. It will not help you, except of course you have gone through the process of the foundation, intermediate, and then you can now move to advanced. Yes, you can. So please, there are also some online courses that you can take. I can help tackle your issues if you feel, oh, you don't have enough time to go into foundation. But if you feel that you're supposed to be in foundation and you feel you don't have enough time to go into foundation, you can do online courses that tackle basically foundation and then go to intermediate. Still don't go to advanced class yet. Go to intermediate class. So we actually have a course that is introduction to pattern making. That course, we created it majorly for people who are transiting into freehand, and even people who are already in pattern making but didn't get their foundations right. It covers a lot of topics, including tape measure, the accurate way of measuring, of reading your tape in inches and then in cm. It talks about sloper creations, how to create your slopers. These are some things that even fashion schools might not teach you because maybe it's just not in their curriculum. So, but teaching on how to create slopers, how to adapt sizes, it's more like grading your patterns. But then in this way, I am adapting the pattern into different sizes. So it means that if I drafted a pattern for myself, I can also use that same pattern that I drafted for another person, instead of having to, start drafting for the other person all over again. Okay, it also teaches you how to draft patterns in Natalie Bray method. It also teaches you how to draft your skirt, how to fix a band. It's a lot of things. It's a lot. Maybe I'm going to put the picture here so you see. And then if you are interested in registering, it's an online class and you can take it at any time. However, the price that you'll be seeing on it might increase from time to time because, of course, when you go to some courses and you see that what you are doing is way a lot. This is something that what is in that course is something that some fashion schools use as the all of their foundation classes, and they charge you like 100k 200k for it. Okay, so but it's just a little amount that is placed on it, tagged on it, and it's an online class, so you can register. But of course, I can't guarantee. So if you're watching the video, if you're watching this video exactly when it drops, then that price that you are seeing on it is valid. But if this is like a month after or 2 months after, I can, whatever price you're seeing there, you might need to send a message to confirm again if that is the same price, which I doubt it will be. It will have increased. So, but of course, I would really recommend that course for you. Yes, it's introduction to pattern making. We have other courses, but for this topic we are treating here today, I would recommend that particular course for you. You can start with that. Even if you are doing any kind of method, you've already been doing pattern making, please go back and take that course. It's very, very, very important. Okay, so if you have any question, just drop in the comment section. And of course, if you are seeing this video, you've not joined our community, click the subscribe button, like click subscribe and click the bell. We need you here. We need you to be part of the next 2,000 subscribers we'll be having. You need to be part of it. We can't let you go. Okay, so please make sure you subscribe. Please always drop a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know now that after watching all the videos, what level do you think you are? You can just write in the comment section after the whole video. I think I'm a beginner, or I think I still need to go to beginners class, or I think I'm an intermediate, or I think I'm an advanced, or I think I'm a master. And don't deceive yourself. You're not helping anybody, you're helping yourself. Okay, so just write it there. So let me know, are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, or master? Okay, so you can write it there. And of course, let me know what you gained from this video. Yes, it was nice to shoot this video. I really, really love shooting videos for you guys to watch. And please encourage me and share this video to as many people as you can share it. I really think this particular one is very important for you to share to a lot of people. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye bye.